so there's another child actor that came out with that same accusation, but he went deeper and he was talking about the child pornography and the sex trafficking and all that stuff. I can't remember his name. He's a child actor. He was in a lot of Disney movies. He's a grown man now.
You talking about the one that I had posted up there? We talked about we were just talking about him. The one that was talking about
Orlando Brown.
Puffy, yeah, Puffy and all of them. Orlando Brown.
This is a white celebrity, Caucasian celebrity, and he's from the Disney industry, and he came out and was saying how the entire industry is satanic.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his name now, but they blackballed him.
Yeah, of course they did.
Would that be the reason that this young one's speaking out?
Yeah, they're all coming out now.
Would that be the reason who coming out?
Or this guy from the subject matter, this David Dobrik.
I don't know. Let's see what he got to say.
It's that time. They got to come forth and tell the truth.
That's what she wanted to be. And she met somebody who could promise her that. And she met somebody. Have you ever heard this?
No.
She met somebody. It's crazy. And he was like, I know how to make you famous. And she's like, how? And he's like, we can turn you into anything.
Scientology.
We can turn you, honestly,
It may have been.
we can turn you into a singer, an actor, whatever you want.
MTV's made.
And yeah, really.
I want to be made.
And one day he visited her apartment and he was like in a suit and tie. And I came in and I saw him in the suit. And then she's like, please leave. And she closed the door on me. So I left. And she came up to my apartment fucking sobbing. And she was like, this guy, please, you can't repeat. And for 3 years, I held the story to myself because I thought this guy was going to kill me. But they were like, if you ever repeat this, they'll kill me and they'll kill you and they'll kill anybody that you love. And she was sobbing to me. And she's like, this is the guy you came to. And he's like, he was telling me that, sorry, my headphone. You hear that?
You just got to get closer to it.
Oh, okay. She was like, this guy came to me and he's like, I can turn you into anything you want to be, but you have to sacrifice somebody. And I just spoke to my mother, and my mom really supports me, and she's like willing to be sacrificed so I can become like famous. A singer or whatever, famous, whatever. And this was completely serious, and it was really fucking terrifying. Really, really terrifying.
Like you believed her.
Totally believed her. And I didn't tell anybody until she told you guys at dinner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, thank God she's telling somebody else, because I did not want to fucking die with the secret.
You can't hold that for that long.
We got so much. And then one day we went to like a Hollywood party. And I don't want to say the names that were there, but they were like these big Hollywood guys who've been around for a really long time. Like, they're like, when you think of like old Hollywood, these are the names that come up.
Yeah.
And she was talking to one of them. She was an attractive person. So like the guys at the party were like into her, and they were like listening to what she was saying, and she was just like, yeah, I was approached by the Illuminati. And this one guy goes, please do not listen to anything they have to say. They ruined my best friend's life. And he was referring to Michael Jackson. And he's like, they ruined my friend's life. They're horrible people. And it was fucking and I was sitting there. This was like a 4 a.m. conversation. And I was sitting there just like, like, oh my God, like I need to go tell somebody.
I don't think I'm supposed to be here listening to this.
Stressing out. And I mean, that's kind of where it got to. Like, that was like the climax of it. But it was like a really serious thing that she like really kept a secret. And like, now I've been around enough and I've gotten to like ask like a lot of like celebs that I met about the Illuminati, because I've always been so curious.
Yeah.
Like that's like such a big thing. Like every time I meet any big celeb, like my first question in is like, Illuminati, real, fake? And always same answer. It's always the same answer. It's like, oh yeah. Everybody, no matter who they are, everyone always says that because it's as a joke. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that was like a really creepy thing. And I remember she told you guys. What did you guys think when she told you? Were you there, or was it just that?
The thing is that we weren't out here for a long time, so I feel like we kind of believed it, right? because we haven't been to that many parties. We haven't met that
I
many
still
people.
think there's some weird shit going on.
I agree that I'm sure there's definitely an Illuminati. There's definitely a world order or whatever. Like there needs to be. Like someone needs to keep everything in check in some way or another.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
Tragic.
Sound went out.
What I'm uncovering is, as you research deeper and deeper, you begin to uncover things that are not so known in the conventional world. So there appears to be a storyline that the world in general gets fed, and then when you go deeper, you see that things are not as they appear. So that's all I do, and I hope to be able to continue to do it well. And
So that's Santos Bonacci. And as I began to look at the families that he had listed, I then began to do divination. But as I stated, when you tap into self, you can feel what resonates as true and what resonates as not true. So when I began to get into this information, one face in particular popped up in my head. The ancestor showed me this man's face. And I said, is this the family member that's been chasing me and following me and got all these people following me all the time? The answer was emphatically yes. Then I said, well, which family, what's his name? What family is it? And he told me it was the Maxima family. And it showed me the face of this guy, Christopher, that be online with these flags, the American flag and the British flag talking. That's whose face popped in my head. That's why I began to unravel everything from there. But it's my bloodline is two of the main families. These are the families that nobody talks about anymore because that's who they stole the empire from. All the rest of the families, these so-called black nobility families, were our cousins. They're like down the line though. They were the military for the empire who ended up turning on us, turning on the empire, conspiring with other family members to overthrow the empire. And that's what they did. All these years been hiding in the background, running everything, and then put these pale-faced Slavics up front, pulled them out of the cave and made them look like the villain and do all their dirty work to conceal their identities. So all of this I'll be talking about, soon in the books. The launch date is September 2022. I'll definitely keep you all posted if it comes out sooner, if one of the books come out sooner.
Did you know who was responsible for bringing them out of the caves?
Yes.
Who did you name?
Well, I'll let you read about it in the book.
Okay.
But yeah, this right here is actually something that happens. This is actually something they do on a contract. And I was shown this after I kept literally feeling it's like a claw on my back. You know, I go
Empress,
to battle. Yes.
you said this young whoever he is, whatever he is part of the Maximum family.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. No, I was clarifying. I was clarifying. Not. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No. You talking about this guy right here?
Right, because I ran into
No, no,
some.
no, no. No,
I've
no,
been having
not
some
him.
run-ins with one specific entity or person, I should say. I'll say that looks has this same facial feature
Hmm.
within the past couple weeks, and there's been some weird interactions. So I just been protecting myself
Yeah, he's
always.
probably doing sorcery.
That's right.
Yep. Just keep up your protection rituals
Islam.
and keep the ancestors around you before you step out your door and inside your door. But
Islam.
this is what they do. I'm gonna be teaching classes on how to protect your soul, but this is what they do. This is something that they actually do, and they will steal. They've been stealing souls. I felt them trying to steal my soul plenty of times. These people, they took all of the knowledge, the ancient knowledge, and using it for wicked. But that's interesting that this right here is talking about this. So they have been human trafficking and stealing their souls at the same time. And this dude right here mentioned Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was coming out. I don't know if y'all recall that video he did when Michael Jackson came out and he was saying it's all a lie. Everything they've been saying about black people is a lie. This is our land and so on and so forth. Everything is a lie. They start coming after him after that because see, his family joined the Boule. He was in the Boule. You can't be in them top spots without being in these secret societies. And if you don't want to be in it, they start trying to ruin your life. I have a strong inclination as to why that is why Tupac made his disappearance. When you start making money that you hit that bracket and you don't let them in your pocket, they extort. That's all they do. They're the mob. They're the ones who started the mob in New York. All of them pale face Italians came from niggas that they be talking about. They don't even know where they came from. 2 generations before them, they was all dark skinned. The same Italian armies that came over here and overturned the empire, been extorting the land and killing people ever since. Right there in New York, Empire State. So yeah, it is deep, man, and it gets deeper. But I'll end it there. I'm gonna get into this right quick and see what I can pull out of here. Looks like they did a lot of extensive research that we can use, but this is something that they've been doing this human trafficking and exploiting people and obviously stealing souls. And that's a part of the contract that this guy right here was alluding to, that the higher up in the Illuminati told the young lady that they can make her into anything. She got to give a sacrifice. It's gonna be her mom, and what they want is her mom's soul. So that means the mom's body is going to perish, or they're going to clone her, like they've been doing with the body sleeves, take their soul, and the spirit dies. You got to have a soul and a spirit for the body to maintain itself. So they're going to take the soul of that person. And once they do that, once they collect so many souls, this is how they've been maintaining such a power over people. Collecting all of these souls. It makes okay.
That brother from Public Enemy was talking about the same thing, and they blackballed. What's it?
That's why they tried to blow up his house that time.
The brother from Public Enemy.
Chuck D.
Him, and then like I said, Corey Feldman, the brother from Public Enemy. It's quite a few of them that came out, and they all got blackballed from whatever industry that they was in. He's been pretty voice.
Chuck D said that.
Not Chuck D. What's the brother's name? He's the smaller one.
Oh, you don't believe the hype.
No, not him. It's
Heavy D.
Not him. It's the brother. He might not even be with Public Enemy. He was back in that during that time. Public Enemy, KRS-One, all them, when they all came out back in the 80s.
What was he saying?
He was saying about the industry, how wicked and satanic it was, and what they started out with the dresses. This is at the same time Dave Chappelle refused to wear the dress, and this brother was talking about the industry and how wicked it is, and the things that go on. I'm surprised he's still walking around.
He probably know how to protect himself spiritually.
Can't remember that brother's name though.
It wasn't Chuck D. I know they tried to blow up Chuck D's house.
It wasn't Chuck D, but he used to rap with Chuck D and all that. Shoot.
Yeah, that's a literal contract, selling your soul to the devil.
I'm gonna try to Google it.
That is a literal thing. These people have taken ancient knowledge and exploited it. But what was I going to say? So yeah, they did this. He might have been talking about that with Dave Chappelle, because Dave Chappelle went missing. Remember?
Yeah, he took off and moved to South Africa for.
No, that's what it appeared to. That's what it appeared to look like. That's what it appeared to look like.
They cloned him.
They're trying to say they cloned him. That was another thing too. Yeah, they're saying that they cloned him. That's not the real Dave Chappelle.
Well, if the brother was talking about what the industry does with taking souls, it was probably referring to, he was probably alluding to what they did with Dave Chappelle. See, Dave Chappelle went up against them, and they did not do him right as far as his money, and he was coming out about it. Anytime, this is what I've been trying to explain. Anytime you in this industry and you in this Boule order, Jesuit order, secret society orders, Illuminati orders, if you don't do what they say and do what they want you to do, then they come after you. and they come after you in different ways.
I will say this, Empress, here lately, that Will Smith incident with Chris Rock that happened. Um,
Mhm.
come to find out, the past week, see, I was born in a different era, and obviously, there was a meme that exposed a either a film and or an award from had to have been from the 70s or 80s, um, sometime before me, obviously, and it was the exact verbatim scenario of what happened at the awards. Now, fast forward, the point is, we're talking about Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle gets attacked by a random, quote unquote, random, whoever it was, in the stage, ran up on the stage while he was doing his performance. And his entourage beat the guy up, put him in the hospital, did him real bad, got him on all of these different types of charges. But this was before, again, this meme has been going viral this past week that the whole incident with Chris Rock and Will Smith was for sure staged. Of course, they let the speculations go, got all the bloggers getting on there, stating their opinions, perspectives. Then within the last 4 or 5 days, there's this video surfacing of this man sitting at an award or something like that, and the host, which was an Albie, talking bad to him or to his wife, making a reference or a joke, and the guy gets up, walks on stage, just like Will Smith, slaps in the same exact motion.
Who did he slap?
He slaps the host, the Albion host, slapped him in the same exact motion that Will Smith did Chris Rock. So again, that situation happened, and then Dave Chappelle, they tried to put him in the tabloids like a week or two later, like the same thing happened to him, but they beat the guy up. And so then Chris Rock gets on stage and was like, "Was that Will Smith?" And they all just laughing about it, still carrying on with the bull stuff, the elephant shit, all of it. And yeah, then this comes out that it was all fake anyway. So it just goes to show, is my point, how they all in cahoots and yeah, a part of what's going on. And when you're not, then they blackball you. That's wild.
Like they trying to shut down this young guy because he exposed the music industry. And he said it's the devil, it's evil. Then they start coming out after they start using other artists to clown him. YK Osiris.
I
Is that
did
Chuck
not
D?
know about this.
Picture I sent you?
Huh?
Is the picture I sent you, is that Chuck D? That's the brother who's speaking widely and vehement about the whole industry. He ain't saying too much now, but I know he's still around. I mean, I know he's still, he's still alive and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You see the picture?
No, I don't have my phone right now, Noble.
Oh, okay. Because I try to post it here on this place, it won't let me. See if I can find his name.
You've been speaking on YK Osiris a few times, or you spoke that a few
Mhm.
times, and okay, now it clicks that I see a picture of him. Because I
See?
don't really know, dude. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't really follow them on that type of time at all, really. So,
Yeah.
whoa.
So what they see when you come out days after exposing the music industry, singer YK Osiris gets arrested. This what they do. They start punishing you.
It's wild.
This a young guy.
Goes long back. So there's a lot of names, that he was so called the king of R&B. So I seen a lot of YK Osiris because when he came out with his debut album, his first group number was terrible. And a lot of people say, oh, that's why he's coming out and explaining, oh, don't do this, don't do that, the industry back, because his first week numbers was terrible. He was so-called the king of R&B. So I seen a lot of people bashing him because of that. But at the same time, he was speaking facts in my opinion. He's not lying. Some people actually sold their soul to be part of this industry. As soon as you sign those papers, you don't own nothing. Like the label owns you. Look at Uzi. Uzi cannot drop music. You know what I mean?
Yo, you need some help?
Know what I mean? He can't even get out his contract. He's being owned by the label. So, it's not good.
So you got these,
Drop music.
you got these youngins that understand what's going on. They peep script. They know exactly what's going on, and that's why I'm saying the knowledge is coming through right now. The younger and younger and younger they get, so these youth ain't slipping. They ain't dumbed down like they want them to be. There's a lot of them out here that is peeping everything that's going on, and I just happened to see this one time, and I looked into it, and I'm like, wow, he on point. He's definitely on point.
He can't get out his contract.
Y'all heard what he said, right? These people selling their
So I
souls.
seen a lot of people bashing him because of that, but at the same time, he was speaking facts in my opinion. He's not lying. Some people actually sold their soul, to be a part of this industry.
That's a literal statement.
Mhm.
Some people actually sold their soul. This is in a contract. These people deal in the spirit realm. Ain't no records going out until a priest do seances over it. All of this stuff is spiritual. That's what I'm saying. You can't be at a high level in anything, at the head of anything and ruling anything unless you master the spiritual world, unless you know how to protect yourself in the spiritual world. Because this is what those that are running things are doing.
Because as soon as you sign those papers, you don't own nothing. Like the label owns you. Look at Uzi. Uzi cannot drop music. You know what I mean? He can't get out his contract. He's being owned by the label. So signing to a label, man, is it's not good. You don't own none of that. The loans that you take, you have to pay. You have to pay it back. You know what I mean? That's why certain labels want you to drop certain albums where you can pay those loans back. So there's a lot of negatives when it comes to a label. That's why I'm telling people right now, man, if you're an independent artist, stay independent, because you don't want to go through something like this. Uzi can't drop music. You see what YK or Sorcery is saying about the industry. So if you don't own your masters, done, man.
And this is what they didn't like about Nipsey Hussle and Young Dolph.
Yeah,
It
they
was the
own it.
music. It was the music industry heads that took them out. Wasn't no neighborhood. They always wait till they get back in their home neighborhood to do something like that. They tried to take him out in Charlotte some years back. They tried to shoot him up. He had a bulletproof truck. That's the only reason they didn't take him out. These people is right here around me. I know exactly who they are. They done came up close and personal, living right around me, trying to take me out. individuals that's down in my family line. Second and third and fourth cousins in my own family line doing all of this, controlling everything. They families been been controlling everything moving on the land, from the armies to the industries. It's
Ah,
crazy.
Professor Griff.
Oh, okay, yeah, Professor
Yeah.
Griff.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was speaking out vehemently, a lot, making a lot of
He
videos.
what?
He was speaking out about the industry and how satanic it was. Uh, and then, he did that he was doing it for a while, do a lot of interviews, and all of a sudden, and I don't know, they didn't take him out. He's still alive, but he just don't do no more interviews on TV, about that. But he was speaking out about it a lot. Professor Griff, that's his name.
Oh, okay.
You can probably find the interview that he did. I think the last time he spoke out was when Michael Jackson had passed.
He got kicked out of Public Enemy.
He left.
Ooh, look. No, I say he got kicked out. I'm just reading something that they put on.
Okay.
Yeah, can y'all see the screen?
It's,
Why they kick him out?
I don't know if that's true. They put headlines up just so people can watch. Look what he's saying though. Didn't I mention this? Professor Griff exposes Will Smith as homosexual.
Yeah, he was making a lot of accusations about a lot of people. He's naming them all. He was naming names.
But I'm already knowing. You don't get to that level of them high ranking movies like that and you haven't
You talk about
gave
Quincy Jones,
them something.
a whole lot of
Professor
people.
Griff, The Truth About Quincy Jones.
That's it. You should watch that one. That was deep. Oh, that's deep. That's a shocker right there.
What, Quincy Jones?
Yeah, with all the people who he supposedly made offers to sleep with. And I was like, man.
Well, I don't doubt it. You get all of them sleazeballs. They get exposed to all of that stuff early on and they exploit people. That's what I'm saying. It take a heck of a person to be given all of that power and not abuse it. You got to be a heck of a person. Like this man right here, Dick Gregory and Tupac.
Yeah,
Dick Gregory right here. Dick Gregory right here. He didn't hold them up at all.
He stayed true. They got him in the hospital the day he was supposed to check out.
Man, I hate that.
Gave him a clean bill of health, and then they're talking about he had an aneurysm. Come on now.
oh shit.
Man, that's why I'm saying you have to really be careful. You see he hitting on it right here. They determine public policy and they can't even read or write. This is what I've been telling y'all. They came out the cave in year 1900. How they orchestrate all of this and become owners of the financial systems of the world? It's not possible. And see, he's subliminal with his stuff, but I'm on his type of time now.
It's not.
Did you hear what he said? You a little young, but you need to look up Nelson Rockefeller. What did I just tell y'all? What did I just explain? These is black nobility families. See, he's saying it in a roundabout way. He ain't coming out and fully saying it.
George W.H. Bush, the 41st Battalion in Star Wars.
He was a real one.
George W.H.
No, Dick Gregory.
Dick Gregory. That's why I'm like, yeah, I see you. I hear you.
Dick Gregory was a real one.
Yeah, he's letting them know.
He gonna tell you just like it is. I want to hear what he got to say real quick about Tupac's mom. Man, I hope
Well,
they didn't kill her. What was you gonna say, Nova?
I was reading as far as the 41st president being George W.H. Bush. I accidentally clicked on 41st Battalion. And what's interesting is it brought up Star Wars, saying that it depicted it in that film as an infantry of warriors dressed in white uniforms, white spacesuits, more than likely dark forces, but their generals were it listed as Yoda, as an old ancient alien being.
That's a stormtroopers.
Stormtroopers. The troopers. How ironic.
They're telling the truth in all the movies. Just gotta dissect it.
Slime.
Got a little cough today. I told you the weather's kind of crazy in New York. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy around the country. I want to read a little article from I want to get the website here, propstheguardian.com. And for those who haven't heard, maybe this is your first time hearing about it. Afeni Shakur, mother of the late rap star Tupac Shakur, has died. She was 69 years old. The Marin County Sheriff's Department in California confirmed her death on Twitter. The department wrote on Twitter that deputies responded to reports of possible cardiac arrest at about 9:30 p.m. at Shakur's home in Sausalito, and that she died at the hospital about an hour later. They added that the coroner will investigate the cause of death. Born in North Carolina as Alice Faye Williams, Shakur changed her name as an adult when she became a political activist and joined the Black Panther movement. She was pregnant with Tupac in 1971 and incarcerated while she and other Panthers were accused of plotting to bomb locations around New York City, including 2 police stations. She represented herself in the trial, and she and 20 other defendants were acquitted a month before she gave birth. Shakur was the inspiration for her son's music, notably the 1995 song "Dear Mama." And I'm gonna end it there, right there. And I guess to start out with, Professor Griff, what's your thoughts, man, on this? I mean, the legacy of the Shakurs, man. Tupac Shakur, Mutulu Shakur, Afeni Shakur. What do you think about when you think about them, Professor Griff?
I think of the average Black family growing up, but a unique Black family growing up in the time of turmoil in America and in the time of chaos in America, but in one of the most beautiful times in America for Black people as far as solidarity, coming together, recognizing our true identity, and then having the gall and the spirit and the courage to stand up for what's right for Black people and stand up, and not only for Black people, but stand up for all people, the whole human family that joined on to the Black Panther Party and benefited from what the Black Panther Party was doing and took notes from what the Black Panther Party was doing. So that family in and of themselves, all right, should be applauded, and we should take notes because they stood the test of time. You understand what I'm saying? And they let us know that, you know, we have to be able to speak to and stand by our values, our interests, and our principles. And regardless of the situation, you know, just imagine going through periods of battling incarceration while you're pregnant, Can you and drug addiction and homelessness, and then a nasty divorce as of late, and then husband wanting to get half of what Tupac put down. Come on, man. That takes a lot for not only a mom to go through, but a family to go through. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, that's very, very real, man. So when I reflect back on not only her life, but all the individuals that you mentioned, Matuba Shakur, I reflect back, on his life and all of the brothers from the BLA, Black Panther Party, all of those organizations that have fought, bled, and died for the liberation of Black people. I take my hat off, I salute them, and I take notes from their struggle, man. I sat with his sister at one of these awards shows and in New York, and we had a long conversation because we sat next to one another the entire night. You understand what I'm saying? Beautiful spirit, humble, very nice woman. You understand what I'm saying? And I gave her my number. I said, look, you call me for anything. You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
She said, I really thank you, Professor Griff. And if I ever need your help, I will. Yeah.
Well,
And y'all see these Ephah beads? I mean, she was a priestess, Ephah. That's the only way you can survive dealing with these people. You got to get a real strong spiritual connection and get into so she the brown and the green represents Nigeria, Africa. Those that's been initiated over here, they have the green and the yellow. So she is a part of the ancient tradition, and we wear white. So that tells me she was initiated. And somebody probably took her out spiritually. That's my thought.
Well, it's a few days before Mother's Day, and what made a lot of people recognize and look up Afeni Shakur and what she went through was the song "Dear Mama." I mean, when Tupac's song "Dear Mama" came out, it was like everything. I mean, every people of all generations love that song "Dear Mama," and it makes me think about Professor Griff. The relationship between a son and a mother. I remember growing up, I would hear my mother and my uncle, they used to sing the song, what was that song?
By the Intruders, I always love my mama.
Oh, yeah, I always love my mama.
That's it.
My favorite girl. So,
right, that's my era, right?
Yeah. So I'm very familiar with all these songs about people, these males make about their mothers, and it's just amazing seeing the connection between the Black man and his mother. And when you look at the relationship between the Black man and the Black woman, it's kind of opposite between the Black man and his mother. Black man loves his mother to death, will do anything for his mother. Mother's Day in New York, Professor Griff, the streets is lit up. On Father's Day, you
Wow.
really see anybody outside.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow.
I guess I'm trying to say, why so much turmoil when it comes to relationships and when it comes to the black man trying to find?
These are spells. These are the spells that I've been talking about that they have put placed over us and over our families and our relationships for us to be apart, for us to be broken up, for us to be estranged from each other. This is a part of their agenda, their agenda 21. Okay. They want the family, those that want to destroy the Asiatic as a whole, the Asiatics as a whole, those that want to destroy that family structure, they had been doing this type of ritual work against the families in mass numbers. So once a person starts to succumb to this, and it adds up over time. These people working in the spirit realm against certain individuals and as a whole, the masses of us. So you get the notion of crabs in a bucket. They start pitting us against each other. As of late, they got these black boys killing each other in Detroit, Michigan. All of this is manipulation and sorcery. What I pray for is for us to be able to see through all of the false and begin to realize that we are being manipulated. Be strong enough to stand against this wickedness. We have to have positive prayer groups and positive communities, intercessors to cover each other against this type of stuff. That's what it was meant for in the first place. But they took these concepts and started using it for wicked and self-gain and to keep the power in their family structures, in their boule, in their Illuminati. This is how they've been maintaining power for these years.
Find a black woman when a black man usually has an amazing example of strength, of wisdom, of love through his mother. And we see that reflected through the music generation after generation, and also through the way men treat their mother. So where does the disconnect happen between the man loving his mother to death and then hating that black woman, or not saying, not in a general sense, but not getting along with or not being able to find that love that he has for his mother in a mate?
I think it's built into the relationship in and of itself. This is the woman that carried you. This is the woman that you pulled the nutrients from her breast. This is the woman that educated you and protected you. This is the woman.
Okay, I'm gonna end this video here. Y'all see Machiavelli on his neck? Machiavelli, he was subliminally telling us the whole time what he was gonna do. If y'all know who Machiavelli is, then you know where Tupac is. This young brother right here, he discovered some things I am sure of when he did that movie and they took him out. This is Wakanda. This brother was coming up and they took him out.
some clothes from the morgue. Beginning the process today. Try not to act like a freak.
He was coming into his own as one of the greatest actors at that level. And I bet you he did not want to be a part of their group and their secret society stuff. And they took him out. This is what they've been doing. But anyway, family, I'm going to go ahead and end this session. But this is definitely an eye opener for how they've been exploiting our youth. Oh, there go my boy right here. How they've been exploiting our youth for their own gain, and also how they will just
He was another Tupac reborn.
he's actually reincarnated Haile Selassie. He comes from Haile Selassie's line. He's reincarnated in the spirit of Haile Selassie. So when you see
in some way, not physically, but financially. He got older kids. He already have children already. He has more children. He
got one due. He got one that's supposed to be due any day now.
So he just decided that he have a bunch of seeds on the planet, huh?
Yeah.
I think he got about 13 kids.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they took one of his sons out.
That little baby the little baby that he
Yeah.
had.